Hello, welcome back. Antoinette here with the Total Tarot subscription that's just arrived this week. So let's have a look. Here's my folder. So I've moved that one out of the way. And comes in, this one comes in this sort of packaging, so just a plastic envelope. So I've taken it out of that, so nothing fancy. And then here's what you get in the packaging. So we have, as we can see, some bits and bobs in there. So you can see we've got 2 magazines, some information, and then the boxes and decks. So here we have the vice versa. So there we go. That's the box up and running. We have the 2 halves of the deck, as we can see here. And I've gone ahead and started to peel it, just so we can spare you all the noise. What's this? This is the back, front, and it's a double-sided deck. So we'll have a look at that one in a moment. And there's the rest of our cards. Put the deck together. I'm going to drop it in the box for safekeeping, and as always we'll do a flip through of the deck at the end, and I will, if I remember, get my other deck and we can take a look and see if there's any major differences between these. Here we have the cards. Sadly we've got another bent card. They haven't addressed the packaging issue. It's got quite a dent in it as well, to be fair. Just, I don't know, a piece of cardboard with these in for a collector's deck. Please. I would rather that than all these other bits of paper apologising for things missing in the subscription. I'd rather that the point to collector's edition deck is that it's in pristine condition and not kind of beat up before I've even got around to having an entire deck and using it. So that's my only kind of gripe. I mean, we've had a little bend and bend out, so we'll see. We'll see. I'm not going to labour too much there. I already kind of had a feeling this was happening, so I saw it in their Facebook group. So apparently, for those who've been subscribing from day one with this, so many subscriptions in, it should have been a little tiny glass ball or crystal ball, or but obviously it's not real quartz, it's going to be glass, isn't it? Because to get an entire crystal ball that's see-through would cost hundreds of pounds. So they've put a little bit of humour. Should have seen it coming. It's not arrived. So there it is. That's what should have come in amongst this. And I'm not sure how they're going to post these, because being glass, they're going to get chipped and broken. So let's keep an eye out for what happens and if it arrives. So apparently it should be coming with issues 14 and 15. So watch this space. And what's this one telling us? In your next delivery, Total Tarot Crystal Special. Oh, have they started that now? I know there was talk of them doing, so we've got the tarot, they were talking of doing a crystals collection, so crystal magazines and crystals. So we shall wait and see. So what are we getting? Are we getting a tester? A trial magazine maybe for the crystals to see how it goes down, see what the feedback is. Well, that'll be interesting to see. Exclusive offer, only $14.99. Well, let's wait and see what happens next month, see what we get. My house is littered with crystals, so I know that won't be a subscription I'll be signing up for myself, but let's see. It could well be something that other people are really interested in, and maybe they might even swap over to that from tarot if they've got enough decks and they don't want any more. And we have parts 12 and 13, so let's do it the right way around. Part 12, and as we know, we're talking about the vice versa tarot. Can we see what's going on there? I think we can. We're in shot. So card reveals. What are we talking about here? So we're talking about the harmonious tarot. We're looking at the Tower by the looks of it upside down. So reading tarot card reversals, an important and widely used technique in tarot, and can add useful additional information to your understanding and interpretation of the cards. So we're talking about topsy-turvy here. There are two ways of reading. Well, there's more than two ways. There's many ways. Marseille being the original kind of tarot reading decks before we got the illustrated sort of decks that we use now, or this version like the RWS that many of us are familiar with in kind of early 1900s. We use Marseille, and Marseille you don't read upside down, but you read two sides of the coin if you want. So you can flip your cards and literally read them upside down, or if you feel that your card upright meaning doesn't quite fit the reading, then you can take some of the reverse side of the meaning, or you can read the card with both sides of the story and use it as a balanced reading on the card. There's no right or wrong way with this. You can do it any way you please, to be honest. So let me know in comments, how do you like to read or interpret reversals? Do you even use them, or do you just use the upright meanings? There's, like I say, no right or wrong way. Just interesting to hear how people do read. And we've got a nice little bit here. We've got opposite meanings for the Fool, the Chariot, the Tower, the Ace of Cups, the Queen of Pentacles, and the Eight of Swords. Shuffling, cutting, essential meanings, and reversed cards. And again, this is, as you see, the Harmonious Tarot, which we got in some of the earlier editions. I can't remember if it was 5 and 6 or something like that. But yes, we've already got that deck in the collection, and it is a beautiful deck. Really beautiful and very gentle in feeling. I tried it out on a spread that wasn't, I can't remember what spread it was now, but I used it on a spread and it didn't really quite answer the spread. It was such a weird feeling to have because I've never had that before. So it just said to me that it wasn't ready for that type of spread. It was a deep, involved spread that I was using it on, and it just wasn't really quite answering the question for me. So our card in detail for this one is Justice. And again, we have what the card says. I am the reminder that you get when you give. Keep an open mind and strive to be fair in situations. Consider others when you make choices and judgments. Look to me for answers, as I shall reveal them to you. I represent your effort, your life's work, and your moral centre. So that's really nice. We have the Marseille, Visconti Sforza, and the pictorial key up there. Card reversals and further exploration of the Justice card here. And then, as you know, I like to do this a little bit at the bottom. So we are looking at a Lo Scarabeo Tarot, the Thelema, the Universal Fantasy Tarot, Tarot of the Pagan Cats, the Pre-Raphaelite Tarot, which we got in the last episode, the Pagan Tarot. Have we seen this one before? The Fae Tarot. That's a really unusual card. Let's bring that one up a bit. This one. That's a really unusual looking card. And we have the Dark Angel Tarot, which is coming up, but I already own that deck. So what it means is I could probably modify one. And we have the card of the day. So picking your card of the day and a little help for you on how to do that. You know, just setting your intention, creating your space, your quiet space. It's something I do every single day myself. So I don't need to spend too much time with this part of the magazine. And then we have the Vice Versa Tarot. So this is the Nine of Pentacles, I do believe. Does it say it anywhere? I'm guessing it is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Yeah. And this is the front side of the card, and this is the back side of the card, hence the name Vice Versa. So you get sort of double your symbolism. So this is, how do I look at it? So I often look at this card, it's a bit like what's happening and then what is going on behind the scenes. So here's what she's doing. So she's looking this way. We've got all the sun and everything shining on her. We've got the bird. And then from behind, it's completely different. It's actually the moon. We've got kind of some shadows to the back of the card, but we've still got the same thing going on, and we're actually looking at a tower in this card, rather than here where we have the archway behind her. So it does give an interesting take. And there we have the cards with their meanings, so the pictorial version there for our mages. Encouraging you to carry on. Look, practice makes perfect. And then we're on to the back of the book, or the magazine. And then section 13, Decoding Tarot Symbols with the Universal Celtic Tarot. That looks like an amazing card. 2, 4, 6, 8 of Swords. I think that might be. Ah. Well, I haven't seen the Universal Celtic Tarot before, so if that's one of the cards, and it's coming with parts 16 and 17, then that's going to be a really nice deck to have a look through. Here we have the Ace of Pentacles, and we're talking about, what are we talking about here? So this is the Arcanum Tarot. This is just giving us some more cards to look for. Bursting forth. The lush greenery of the Arcanum Ace of Pentacles suggests fertility, magical change and new life. So looking into the kind of symbols and the extra pictorials that you get within your cards to help enhance your understanding and knowledge of the, you know, what would be your standard Ace of Pentacles. So what else is in that card and what can you use and bring forth to read? So we've got like little bees there buzzing around. So they're working, and that sort of fits in quite neatly with the Pentacles and the kind of material world that we usually associate it with. We have the language of symbols down here. There's our cups, that'd be usually our Ace of Pentacles. And these cards look like they're from the Tower of Illuminati, which again, as you know, is one that I'm quite looking forward to having a look through. And we're on to the Hanged Man, with all the bits and information that comes with him. And our Hanged Man is saying to us, I come alive when you approach the world from a new point of view and see it with fresh eyes. I am what comes with sacrifice of oneself, what happens when we push ourselves past what we think of as our limits, and though I am not always a comfortable space to inhabit, I am essential to your growth. You should not dwell on my space for too long, or you may become static and stuck. Check in with me on a regular basis. I reveal new perspectives, so looking at things from a different perspective in order to move forwards. And of course we have our further exploration, a couple of different decks up here. And looking at this we have, so let's just take a look at some of our Hanged Men. So we have our Lo Scarabeo, the Fae Tarot, and we've got dolphins in there and fish. Here we have our Universal Celtic, the Dark Angel. That one's a very dark Hanged Man. The Fantasy Tarot, the Arcanum Tarot, the Shaman Tarot, and the Tarot of the Pagan Cats. So a few interesting depictions to look at in order to help influence your own keywords and meanings. And the vice versa spreads, so example readings, one card spread. So this looks like the section where it unpicks your one card spread that it set you up to do in the first magazine. And here we have things that could happen when you're doing your one card spreads and the meanings of the drawn cards. So it talks about the cards imagery, the front. When you get this side in a reading, the cards imagery on the back. And when you get this side in a reading. And of course this is all relating to the deck that comes with this set of magazines, so that would be the vice versa. And here we have the tarot deck. I'm not sure what that means, the tarot deck library. So finding out more about how to work with your double-sided vice versa. In a typical deck, a card drawn will be upright or reversed. Upside down, many readers choosing to interpret upright reversed cards differently. If you're familiar with the tarot, it may be tempting to use the vice versa tarot in a similar way. The front side is positive and the back side is negative. In other words, the two sides contradict each other. Instead, take a clue from the deck's title, vice versa, means the other way around. Not better or worse. For example, many of the cards show one view in daylight and another at night. The energies and metaphorical meanings of day and night differ, but one isn't more positive than the other. As with the Chinese concept of yin and yang, the two sides make up the whole. So visual pairs, when you work with vice versa, keep an eye out for visual pairs such as these day, night, out, inside, outside, wet, dry, warm, cold, open, closed, dawn, dusk type things. And also consider more abstract vice versa pairs. So what's active, what's passive. So here we have our strength card, and it actually does look quite menacing, doesn't it? With this big winged kind of, depends what you want to call them, angel, demon, deity, god, person, scary person. Is this somebody's nightmare? So there's all of those things there that we can kind of draw on. And then we have the rest of the pictorials that go with the rest of the deck. And again, encouraging you to keep practicing in order to make perfect. So that is the magazines. So let's have a look at these decks. Okay, so as I said, I already own this deck. So with the magazine, it comes in a tuck box. And from Lo Scarabeo, I previously have this, what we call a kit. So this isn't how most decks come. These are what we'd call kits. And you can obviously buy them like this. So mine comes in a magnetic closure, and I get the book with this one. So that's the difference between this one and the one that I own. And my book is coloured, and you'll probably find that what I have in here is exactly what's in that magazine, with the pictorial coloured edition explanations of the cards. So it's a nice book. That's what you get with, so that's the difference with the kit. So you get this instead of a little white book. And then we have the cards. So as we've already discovered, they're double-sided. So you've got your day and your night to the cards. So that's our Two of Wands. Normally we're used to seeing it sort of in that view, I think. And then there's what's happening when you're looking at the person holding the card. So let's take that out of the way. Put that one there. This obviously, because I've shuffled it and tried to use it many times, is not in order. And this one is in order. So if we take out the title card, we've got the top card there. Okay, so the kit version that I have feels a little bit sturdier, to be honest. So this one's a bit sturdier, definitely more glossy, as you can probably see. So it's more laminated feel to it, much shinier. And wow, in fact, you can see, I don't know if it will show up on camera, but there is a very definite difference in kind of card thickness. So yeah, it's definitely a slightly different quality there to here. But this is standard tuck box quality. I've sort of come to realise from Lo Scarabeo, so it doesn't feel any different to my other tuck boxes that I've paid and had in the past. So if we put those away, and let's come in and take a look at these ones, because I don't need to compare all the deck. So we have the Fool. So I'm just going to do front, and then you'll see the back when I turn them, okay? A bit better. I love this Chariot. There's a view you don't get every day. And again, with this tower, look at the kind of detail in there. That's really... And you've got your two sort of sphinxes from the Chariot there. So it's been a long time since I've worked with this deck. I think I've had it 2 years. I have to say, coming back to it, looking at the images, there is some really nice details in these. What are you thinking when you're looking at them? Is there any favourites, anything standing out to you? I like that one. Suddenly we've got like the glory of the work that we see being put together. That's interesting, isn't it? It's almost like a ghostly version of himself watching over him as he's doing his work. So as he's grown and become the skilled person that he is. That's my take anyway. I mean, you might see it as he's teaching somebody, but yeah. So Page of Pentacles has got his cornucopia and rose on the back, so that's some interesting details on that one. So those kings and queens have a real earthy feel about them, don't they? Really rustic. And there's a view of the Three of Wands you don't get from the normal, isn't it? These are Eight of Wands. So in this one, we've got the growth. Let's see what we have on the other side. We have the, I don't know, Pegasus? And all the lightning coming. There's our 10. That's quite a powerful image there. I wanted to say these are quite striking, aren't they, with some of the reverse images and meanings and perhaps the pictorial elements that they bring to mind for you. But I didn't want to be too much in the pun there with the lightning strikes, but okay, we've done it. I've gone there, I went there. And we're on to the final suit, the swords. So here we see all the torment, and there she looks much calmer and what's going on. Six. Love that. Just take a little look here. So there we have it, the kind of knight in shining armour for the Ten of Swords. All the weaponry kind of sticking in. And yet what we actually have is the knight has taken himself out of his armour and he's looking at what's left of the fight that happened before, but he is ready to go on and start again. And then we have that kind of eclipse, look, with the ring of hope around it, like that. Page of Swords. Knight of Swords. There's our Queen. And King. Right, so did grab the first major that I could find, basically, from this deck. Just to have another look to see what else is different. So we have this little flush of detail on the card, and it's not on here. We can see that the image is kind of larger on here, so it's brought forwards, whereas here we've got more of the surrounding image. And of course this one is bordered, and the one I have is borderless. So those are the major differences, I think. And that, to me, makes the image in the kit pop more than it does in here. Again, let's compare the backs. So the flourish is missing. The total tarot, we have names. Here we only have numbers. And that'll be something else I've just spotted as well. So we'll quickly have a look at a minor. And yeah, again, just a bit more detail, isn't it? Here we've got a bit more surrounding, some more stonework to look at. And there we've got a little bit less. So it's not huge, just small nuances between the size then of the image on each card and the fact that we have the borders. You could cut the borders off this and just leave the bottoms on there quite easily. I don't think that would make a lot of difference to the deck. It would make the deck smaller, but you could do that if you particularly don't like the borders. I'm not sure which I prefer. I think I'm going with this one just because the deck is, or the image is bigger for me. But I don't dislike the border. The colour of the border is okay, and the colours of course are subtly different. So that's the first thing, and then I've got a Queen of Wands. There she is. So with my kit version, we have the crown and the symbol to tell us what we're looking at, and here we have it actually on the deck, And then on the backs is the same. So symbol and crown wording. And Ace of Pentacles. There we go. Ace of Pentacles again, same thing, just to make sure we've got it all going on. So we've got the number, the symbol, and there we have the actual name on the cards. There we go. Right, well, I hope you enjoyed that little trip through Total Tarot, and I will see you again with the next edition when it comes out, and in the meantime I will continue posting my normal content, so take care and I'll see you again. Bye bye.